All right, it's January 3rd, 2023. What the today's day 7 of surrender, a weekend. Oh, where do I start? I just did a journal dump. So one of my favorite things, one of my favorite tools actually, is to use your journal to be heard. And so in my journal, I use 3 different colors. So pink and blue are pink is my downloads, my inspiration, my meditations, the universal law of inspired action. Blue is my desires, my whatever, and red is my go fuck yourself. I just did that, didn't I? Um, ego dump. What I mean by ego dump is letting your ego be heard. If you don't address it, this is a piece of you, right? It's a big lesson I love to teach is that it's not separate from you. You don't have to shun it. You have to calm it like a wild stallion. So if you ignore a wild stallion and you bring it into your home, it's going to kick and flare. It's going to get triggered. It's going to be out of control. It's going to shit everywhere, like whatever, right? But if you befriend it and you calm it and you love it and you learn it, you can use that stallion. You can mount it, ride it, go enjoy your experience. So I do love my ego self a lot. And I don't mean that it's out of control ego or F you ego even. It's my friend. It's Diamond. It's my human experience. It's the human experience. So 7 days of surrender, and I have gone through a whole flux of emotion. And I knew coming into this that I was going to make some big changes that I've shared with you. Um, I didn't realize I was going to make them that fast. That is one of my weird quirks, I guess, is that as soon as I know something for sure in my head, I don't waste time, whether it's going after something or changing something or ending something. As soon as I have that clarity, boom, it's done. And I take a long time to really process that clarity. Um, and I observe while I'm processing that clarity. And so my ego dump today was everything that I just need to say, get out, not in a how dare you or anything like that, actually, more of like a reflection and realizing that every love that I've had has gotten better. Like it levels up every time. And this was a good one, man. This was a great one. I was going to marry this one. Um, Not that I know if I want to be married, but anyway. But like I said earlier, when two people are not aligned, they're not aligned. And as soon as I really stepped back and made that decision, I started to see it differently. And so my ego dump today was just on what I see now. Yesterday, I started that whole wall of reminders and notes to my yesterday self. I'm finding that hugely inspirational, very clear, because we go through these phases of, okay, I know in my guts what I need to do. And then this little stallion is like, are we sure? Like, are we really sure we're scared? And I feel like that's my little girl within me, my inner child. She she's afraid of making the wrong choice. She's afraid of missing out, that FOMO thing. And that's a fear I've been dealing with for 44 years, that fear of missing out. I'm very aware of it, but it sneaks up every now and then. And that was sort of like what I was going through. So my journal dump was a letter to closure, even though everything's closed and everything has been said, done, whatever. And I just need to make sure I got it all out. Didn't want it surfacing anymore. And I find when I put it into my journal, it doesn't float around anymore. It's like it's done, it's solidified, it's on paper. So we take pen to paper, we create it externally of ourselves. And I close that journal. I'm like, okay, this doesn't belong to me anymore. I can take this out of that ego space and move into the next bit of clarity, right? Um, so that was really healthy for me this morning. And it's interesting when we make these big life changes, how you, it's the hindsight thing, right? Or you're like, oh, wow, I literally didn't have any free time for my girlfriends, my sisters. Hmm. And that's all I've been doing is just leaning in and being vulnerable. And that's really cool. I've never done that before. I've really never done that before. I've always put on the tough, like, I'm fine, da, 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 I'm gonna go out and get attention, rah, 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 like, ugh, gross. And I'm in my journal, I was like, I am gonna cringe at these videos in like 3 months from now. I'm gonna look back and be like, oh God, what were you doing? But here we are. Let's be cringy. So yeah, I'm leaning into my sisters, being vulnerable with them, and speaking my truth of I'm scared. I'm scared that I'm making a wrong decision in moments. Help me unpack that. My calls aren't, can you believe blah blah? No, that's not vulnerable for me. Vulnerable is, here's what I'm afraid of. Can you help me unpack this, please? Hold space for me. Help me discover this. And I've never had that before. I've never had sisters that I could lean into like this before. So I think that's another version of level up of myself is, attracting in really powerful, loving, nurturing women. I really love you guys a lot. Like, fuck, I love you bitches. Um, so that's cool. Went back to the gym today, hence the still in my workout clothes, all slimy. Been on and off with that for a bit, but I know if I work out, I'm stronger. So today is surrendering into the quietness. The anger is over, the tears are over, the journal dump is over. And now I have to surrender into what do I do after 8 p.m. when I'm done work? Now I work till 9 tonight, so that's fine. But like, oh. And I mentioned, I don't know if it was yesterday or the day before, I'm like turning everything off at 8 o'clock and just being for 2 hours before I go to bed. And I didn't do great with that. I was like, let me talk to my friends. Let me talk to my sisters. Let me like get this all out. Maybe I still need to process. And so tonight is the actual night where, okay, stop avoiding it. What are we going to do with our time? No TV, no social media. I work till about 8:30, 9 o'clock tonight. And I'm going to stay up till 11 on purpose without my phone in my hand. And I'm going to surrender into the quietness and discover like, what do we do? What do you do? Like, hit me in the comments. What do you do in your spare time? Like, I don't have any hobbies. Do I get a hobby? Like, what would be a good hobby? I already work out. I already do Tai Chi. I already meditate. I already read a lot every morning. Like, I am really strict with my routine. So every morning I read something that makes my brain work and expands me. And then I read something that makes me curious while I'm having my coffee. And then I go to the gym and I work out and then, or I do yoga, one or the other, or Tai Chi. And then I come home and I get ready for my day and I go into work. And then what do we do now? Last night I cleaned my entire apartment. I cooked and meal prepped for the whole week. Maybe I need to not do that. Maybe I should cook every night. I'm not sure. So I'm going to surrender into nothingness and see how uncomfortable this is. And if anything, oh, maybe I'll have a bath. I don't know. What do we do? Do I have a bath every night? Like, what do I do? So yeah, give me your suggestions. Help me understand like all of my single friends out there who are in a great rhythm with their life. I don't want to fall into the habit of being a workaholic. I've done that in the past. It's very easy for me because I'm very passionate about what I do. So I don't want to fall into the habit of being a workaholic. And so I want some help. Like, let's make a list of things that we do. And do you want to do them together? Like, I don't know. Do we do like Tuesday bath self-love night, Wednesday create a meal? Help, help. Let me know. And cool. So that's that. That's what I'm surrendering into today. I've already done my meditation. It's like not even 10 o'clock in the morning. I've already worked out. I've already done my reading. I've already done my meditation. I'm about to go shower, and then I jump into work, and then I don't know. So I would love some suggestions and some support and some help with that. Thank you. All right, day 7, weekend. Got this. All right, bye guys.